The UAE and France to hold energy talks today, and the IMF is cutting its global growth outlook substantially. You're watching the Daily Brief with Forbes. I'm Ramia Faraj. UAE President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan is due to meet President Macron in France today on his first overseas state visit as president, and with energy and transport deals on the agenda. France says the trip will likely see the UAE guarantee to supply it with diesel. The UAE exports refined petroleum products to France, but it doesn't currently supply it with diesel. The visit comes as President Biden's GCC visit over the weekend produced no guarantees of an increase in oil output. Abu Dhabi's Etihad Airways has reportedly firmed up an order for 7 Airbus A350 freighters, confirming an informal letter of intent signed earlier this year. The order, which was included in Airbus's most recent monthly bulletin as an undisclosed customer, came ahead of this week's Farnborough Air Show. The air show opens today as the sector is aided by a modest air traffic recovery, which reached over 2/3 of its pre-pandemic levels in May. The Ukraine war has also boosted defense budgets. The IMF will cut its global economic growth outlook substantially in its next update due this month, as finance chiefs grapple with a shrinking list of options to tackle worsening risks. The IMF had already downgraded its global expansion outlook for this year to 3.6% from 4.4% before the Ukraine war. The IMF says surging food and energy prices, slowing capital flows to emerging markets, the pandemic, and the slowdown in China is making it much more challenging for policymakers, with successive shocks hitting the global economy. China's banking regulator has urged lenders to extend more credit to real estate developers as homebuyers withhold mortgage payments on unfinished housing projects across 50 cities. Furious at postponed deliveries of pre-sold homes, unclear delivery times, and halted construction, homebuyers were last week reported to have halted payments for already sold units in at least 100 residential projects. The boycott has worsened fears of financial contagion in the country's troubled real estate sector, which accounts for between 18 to 30% of GDP. Customers of crypto lender Celsius face a long and anxious wait to know how, when, and even if they will get their money back after the company filed for bankruptcy. That's according to lawyers working on the case. Celsius froze withdrawals in June, spurring a $300 billion sell-off in digital assets and leaving retail investors cut off from their savings. Celsius revealed a $1.2 billion hole in its balance sheet when it filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in New York this week. Commuters in London have been advised not to use the city's transport network unless for essential journeys amid a sweltering heat wave across Western Europe. The UK Met Office issued an amber extreme heat warning from Sunday through Tuesday, as temperatures will likely surpass the country's 2019 record temperature of 38.7 Celsius. Posing a risk to passengers. The UK Health Security Agency also increased its heat health warning from Tier 3 to Tier 4, the equivalent of a national emergency. I'm Ramia Faraj. This is the Daily Brief. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.